How's it going, everybody, and welcome to the Music Production Podcast, the show about all things making music. I'm your host, Brian Funk, a musician out of New York. I'm an Ableton certified trainer. I teach a sampling course at Berkeley Online, and I'm a little bit of a sound designer. I like to make my own Ableton Live Packs and instruments for you to use. Right now, the music you're hearing is from my Juno 106 Ableton Live Pack. It's made with sounds of the Roland Juno 106. There's 81 of those Ableton Live instruments, all made with various samples of the Roland Juno 106, and it kind of captures the spirit of the instrument and takes it to new levels. There's a whole bunch of packs on my site. If you head over to brianfunk.com/packs, it's a little bit of an obsession of mine. I've actually got more packs on my site than Ableton themselves. So it's been a bit of an obsession. There's over 200 free ones and a bunch to download if you want to purchase them that are a little deeper. My latest free pack is called A Bottle of Coffee because it is made with the sample of blowing on a glass bottle and some bubbling coffee out of a coffee maker, and it sounds like this. It's a kind of double layered instrument. It's got some nice, really emotionally charged sounds, I think. It's kind of haunting. It makes use of Live 11's 16 macros, and it also has variations. So this one is called Bottle Heaven, and we've got air pipes. It's a shorter, almost like a quick blow on the bottle. One is called Mystery. This one really evolves over time nicely, I think. And the last one is called Slow Frost. This pack and literally hundreds of others are available at my site, brianfunk.com. Today's episode is going to be a quick little dose of wisdom, a little bit of something that kind of helps me and motivates me a bit. It's called You Are Always Training Your Dog. And it kind of begins with a story of when I first got my dog, Vera. She was a little puppy at the time, and I've had dogs growing up, but I had no idea how much work having a puppy was. It was kind of life-changing. So we got Vera, and, you know, I was trying to train her. I was watching videos online and reading a bit, but I wanted a little extra guidance, so we called the dog trainer. And she came over the house one day and sat down with us and sat down with Vera and asked me, how often are you training your dog? So I said, I'm training her every day. She says, no, you're not. I was surprised by this, and I replied, I actually do about a half an hour every day after work. And sometimes then if I have a little extra time in the day, I might even do another session later on in the night. And she says, no, you don't. And I was kind of surprised by this answer. I was like, oh, what are you saying? I'm lying to you? Like, this is honestly what I've been doing. I've been dedicating a lot of time to this. That's why I'm calling you up. And she says, you're always training your dog. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It's not a simple training session that you have every day for a half hour. It's all the time. The dog is always learning. And she gave the example of, suppose I don't want my dog to eat or beg from the dinner table while we're eating dinner. I can never, ever feed her from the table. Because if I feed her even just one time out of 100, every 100 days I give her a little scrap of food. To my dog, those are good odds. Hey, once in a while, I'll get a food. So it's worth the effort. You know, what else is she doing? She's got nothing else to do anyway, so she might as well check to see if maybe this is the lucky day that she'll get food. So if you're not consistent with it, she will learn that every once in a while I get food if I beg by the table. And that's not what I want her to think. I want her to think she'll never get it. The truth is, dog training should really be called people training because it's more about training yourself than training the dog. So this was really eye-opening for me, not just as far as training my dog goes, but it made me think about just habits in life in general, and I think it applies to music production. You're always training your dog. You're always building habits. So every time you're doing something, you're working towards being that thing or not being that thing. Let's say it's music producer in this case. When you spend some time practicing your work, producing, writing, recording, whatever it is, you're working towards being that music producer. You're making music, you're doing it, you're building that habit, it's part of your life. When you're not, you're going in the other direction. So I found this to be kind of motivating when I don't want to be producing, when I'm maybe feeling lazy or tired. What I can say to myself is, what am I becoming right now? So if I'm laying on the couch, I'm becoming a person that lays on the couch. And that thought will often rattle me up enough to want to start making music. And then when I start making music, I'm now a person that's making music. I don't really like holding too tight to any sort of label on myself or some sort of like idea or identity of what I am. If I think to myself, I'm a music producer, I think it's a way I can kind of fool myself. I've done it before where I've gone long stretches without making any music and still considered myself a music producer. But the fact is, if you want to be a music producer, you have to produce music. You have to be doing it. So I sort of like to keep my identity a little bit more rooted in the moment where, okay, right now I'm being a podcaster. I'm talking about making music. I'm thinking about it a bit. But when I'm making music, I'm a producer. When I'm not, I'm not. And that can be something that pushes me to work towards the things I want to be a little bit more in life. In that I could be feeling kind of lazy, and then I'll ask myself kind of if producing music is what I want to do and if that's what I want to be. And the answer is almost always yes. But the motivation isn't always there. But if I then tell myself, well, that's not what you are. You're a person that's being lazy. That's avoiding the work. That's avoiding the responsibility. That thought, for whatever reason, frightens me enough into actually getting to work. So it all kind of goes back to this day with this dog trainer who told me I'm not training my dog a half-hour a day. I'm not just a little bit of a dog trainer. I'm either all in or I'm not. You're always training your dog. And I think that applies to us too. We're always building habits. We're either building the habit to become a better producer, to be a hard worker, or we're building the habits of being lazy, of procrastinating, of putting it off, or just dreaming about doing it. The only way to do it and the only way to become it is to do it. So it's all about the hard work. It's all about constant training all the time. And I think even if this is enough to motivate you to work for a few minutes, short bursts every day, at least you're doing it consistently. And then every day you're at least being a music producer for some small amount of time. I hope that helps you a little bit. It's helped me a lot. It's gotten me moving many times. And it kind of got me into recording this podcast too as well. I felt like I'm not doing it, so I need to do it to be it. So that's where we are right now. So thanks a lot for listening. I hope you enjoy this. If you enjoy the show at all, I'd totally appreciate a review wherever you get the podcast, whether it's iTunes, Spotify, or something else that I'm not aware of. It does help, and it helps show up on the rankings so more people can see it, so I'm told. So I do appreciate that. So thanks a lot, and have a lot of fun being a music producer.